So yes, it's a busy evening tonight. Richard Taylor from Miami says hello, boy. David Gallagher's here as well. Bobby, Annabelle, Steve, Lee, Warren, Alison. Loads of people are joining on Twitter as well. I've missed names, but I know Dawn's here, Brian's here, lots of other people are here. Thank you. Tonight's a little bit of a different setup, right? Normally, this is Motivation and Mind Hacks Monday night. It's alternates, doesn't it? Motivation and Mind Hacks, book club, live Q&A, book club, Motivation and Mind Hacks, book club. So like every other week's the book club. And then Carly, good evening. Then in between, we have Motivation and Mind Hacks and a live Q&A. So tonight should be Motivation and Mind Hacks, but I'm flipping it, right? Normally, it's you asking me questions, okay, on any area of like the acting industry, voiceover industry, personal development, social media marketing, building a brand, vlogging, show reels, voice reels, whatever. Tonight, I want to flip it, right? I want to ask you questions because I feel Act on This is evolving, and it's like it's about to take on, you know, some lots of new directions. I think it's not just going to be the same old that it's been over the last. It's been like 8 years, you know, since I set up actonthis.tv. There's now over 400 hours worth of content on there. There's about 200 hours worth of interviews with famous actors, directors, writers, producers, Oscar winners, BAFTA winners. There's a shitload of content on there. But I want to know a few things tonight. One, there's still going to be sticking points in your career and your life, right? Regardless of like where you're at. I don't care if you're brand new to this industry or if you have been like in it your life and you're established. Everybody, my thing is, look, everybody's got a next level to go to. If you're not growing, you're dying, right? Literally in all areas of your life. It's very similar to nature. If a plant isn't growing, it's dying. You know, if you are not growing as a person, whether that's maybe physically, mentally, you know, psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, then you're dying in those areas. So I want to know tonight, over the next kind of 40 minutes, where your pain points are in your life, right? And how Act on This can help you. Good evening, Lucy. How Act on This can help you and how I can help you by bringing features with certain people, whether that is particular actors, particular casting directors, particular writers, producers, executive producers, anything. And then also, you might have seen I sent an email out on Friday. And I was asking just to gauge interest in this because this is something that I'm really excited about. I get asked a lot, and it's so flattering. It's lovely. I get asked a lot via email. People are like, listen, I watched this broadcast with you, or I saw a live broadcast with a casting director and you were talking about such and such a thing, or I listened to a podcast and you were talking about goal setting. That's a big one I get asked about a lot. Do you do like one-to-one sessions or coaching? And I just don't, unfortunately. It's because it's just time. It really, you know, I love this group coaching now. We've probably got like 25, 30 people watching, plus hundreds can watch on the replay. We can hit lots of people all at once on a live broadcast. So it's much more time efficient. But in between me having a life, an acting career, voiceover career, vlogging, you know, everything that I do, it's difficult to do one-to-one work. But I've been thinking over the last few weeks, how can I maybe make that a bit more of a possibility? And I was like, look, I'm part of myself. I'm part of like 3 or 4 mastermind groups at any one time online, and they are in all areas of life. They're in personal development, one's physicality, one's business, the other's social media marketing at the moment. And what a mastermind group is, ultimately, I'm sure you all know, if you were on the book club for Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill's book, he mentions the power of a mastermind group. Ultimately, a group of next level high performers, people who want to grow, people who are dedicated to, you know, building the best version of themselves in all areas of their life, come together, and rather than just being a soul, like, you know, a soul cell, like a battery cell, a singular cell, when you come together with, say, 30 or 40 or 50 other people who all have similar dreams and aspirations and are all battery chargers, all positive, super inspiring, motivated people, they're not maybe where they want to be right now, but they're dedicated to getting there, your output is infinitely larger. And I've noticed the benefit of being part of mastermind groups in my life for like the last 6 or 7 years. It's huge. If anything, for accountability is one. You generally get buddied up with someone in a mastermind group where you are responsible for each other in terms of accountability. So away from the group, you will have a Skype call once a month, once every 2 weeks, etc. And I was like, look, you know what? One thing that I could do, and there would have to be an application process on this because there's Well, there's 3,500 actors on Acts on This in terms of sign ups to the membership site. There's 10,000 in the Facebook group. There's got to be an application process. But I was like, look, we could create a next level mastermind group it would initially just be for 50 of the most dedicated people within the community. And if you're on this scope tonight, or this Facebook live broadcast, or you're listening on the Acts on This TV audio experience on iTunes right now, you might be listening days from when this goes out, but you've taken the time out to listen to this. You're probably like one of the most dedicated people in the community. And what I would do within that mastermind group is we would create an entirely separate Facebook group that would be entirely private. It would be away from the general Acts on This Facebook group. It would be incredibly vibrant and busy. I would want people posting daily updates on exactly what they're doing on there, what they're after achieving, what they want, not just in their acting career, but in all areas of their life, because every part of your life affects every part of your life. And then once a month, I was like, you know what, we'll do a live coaching call. It would be a lengthy one. It could be 3, 4, 5 hours like the Bulletproof Actor calls are, but it would be with myself and then one of my mentors. So it'd be truly next level. It's not me going, right, I'm going to teach you stuff that I'm being taught. It's like the people who teach me shit would be presenting with me. And these are like experts, world-renowned experts in various areas of life and acting career as well. So it would be a bit of a balance, how I envisage it, between building the best version of you in all areas of your life, mind, body, and business, as well as, as an actor as well. Obviously, there's no acting coaching on there. I'm not going to teach you how to act. But in terms of looking at the industry as a business, looking at yourself as a business, and a product, ultimately, that you're going to market. So whether that's anything to do with, feeling good about yourself and getting in better shape, maybe, better body composition, to building a personal brand via social media. It all kind of feeds into itself. Lots of different areas that ultimately just build the best version of you. So I want to know, I sent an email out on Friday talking about this. I'm just kind of going over how it would work in my own head. I've not quite figured it all out yet. And I've already had about 150 responses from people going, I'm in, I want to do it. I mean, obviously there will be a cost involved with it. I would try and make that as cheap as possible. But obviously if I'm asking people, like world, I don't want to say world leaders in terms of like not President Trump, but leaders in a specific area, world class people, I should say. World class is the word, and there's a cost involved with that. These guys are going to want paying to come and do a presentation and some coaching online. So it would be there would be just a subscription, a monthly subscription. It would be for 50 people. When the doors close, it would then be like an invite only. You could go on a waiting list, but then it would be like one out, one in. So it's dead man's shoes, unfortunately. When one person goes, right, I'm out, then there's a space for somebody else to come in. But I just think it's quite a cool next level kind of thing that I really want to test out, because I love coaching. Those people who've done Bulletproof Actor, Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success, the mindset, like super in-depth positive psychology program I release once a year. There's 5 weeks of group coaching in that. And those calls are often 3, 4, 5 hours long. Ask people on here who have done it. I mean, Alison, Warren, there's lots of people on here who have done that. Bobby, Rich Haler. It's just awesome. It's so good because you really create like a group, like a family, who genuinely care about each other. Everyone is, holds each other accountable. And we've had incredible things come out of Bulletproof Actor. Rachel won an Oscar. She did Bulletproof Actor. It's powerful. But I don't know. I mean, that's something that I want to, again, I want to kind of ask you. So, I mean, what would people want if you were like, you know what, that sounds like something that would be beneficial for you? What would you want from a group like that? Because I'm trying to figure out the 12. I want to put like a curriculum together for the 12 months. So before people go, yeah, I'm in, I want you to see exactly what you're going to get over the 12 months. So there would be a session with, a leader in show reels, a leader in voice reels, a leader in physicality, a leader in social media marketing, a leader in maybe like entrepreneurship and setting up side hustles to earn money so you can have more freedom in your acting career, so you don't have to work for somebody or do a shitty 9 to 5 job. What do you want ultimately, and then also, features for Acts on This away from the mastermind group, but other things, on Acts on This. What are the things you're finding most useful? Is it the live broadcast Q&As that I do with casting directors? Is it hearing actors? I get a lot of really successful actors on, so maybe it's like, I want to hear from some actors who I've had like just had their first job, and how did they get that? You know, they don't have to have won a BAFTA yet, because maybe you relate a little bit more to that. Let's have a look at these comments. And so Lee says, fear and confidence holds me back. I need Bulletproof Factor ASAP. That's exactly what Bulletproof Factor Unstoppable Confidence is all about, Lee. I mean, the mastermind group would absolutely cover. That's my thing, really. Speciality is confidence. Installing unstoppable confidence in people, ultimately by going back in their life and looking at what are those previous experiences that have fucked people up, because we're all a little bit fucked up by our childhoods, by things that have happened in our lives that hold us back today, sometimes like decades later. That's absolutely what I specialize in. Alison says accountability, confidence, side hustles, the casting director Q&As are great. I'd like to hear from a top manager, says Hayla. Yeah, because it's very different in terms of, because we don't have managers in the UK, Rich. Something that you guys have in the States, but we don't have in the in the UK. Or maybe people who are looking to work in America would want to know about that. Cheryl, good evening. How are you doing? Some amazing talks you did both this week and last week on your vlog, Watch Ross. Thank you, John. Appreciate you watching the vlog. I'll play a little clip of the vlog. We had a great episode of the vlog come out today. The vlog's getting traction now. Very happy to say. It took a long time. It took 39 episodes, but the vlog is now consistently getting a few hundred hits on the first day. Those who are putting content out online and are like, I'm still only getting 50, 60, 90 hits on day one when I'm putting a video out. Freaking hang in there. It took me 40 weeks almost to get to the point where last week's vlog got about 950 views. Today's has had about, I don't know what today's had, it must have had 200 views or so far today. Takes a while. And we're talking hundreds of views, not thousands and tens of thousands. Don't worry about the numbers though. Look at the quality views, and if you're using YouTube, look in the back end of how much of your video people are watching. I'm always humbled that the majority of plays on Watch Ross are the full episode. People don't just watch for 10 seconds and turn off, which is incredible to go, wow, people are giving me consistently 25, 30 minutes a week. I'm over the moon if 200 people watch, because that's 200 people I'm affecting kind of deeply because they're sitting there for 30 minutes. Don't get screwed up by numbers. Lee says, yeah, fear and confidence. Ross, this sounds amazing, says Alison. Bulletproof made such a difference to how I see myself and my work. Amazing. Well, ultimately, Alison, it would be like Bulletproof Factor on a monthly basis on a different topic of life, that's going to help you just be the best version of yourself. Because like I say, it's like, I don't think you can focus like 100% on just becoming a better actor, because I think you can only go so far. I think you've got to tie in other areas of your life. You've got to, there might be like a month where we go, you know what? We're just going to freaking look at actually like the mechanics of happiness. We look at actually the science behind, what the leading psychologists in the world, are studying and realizing literally, make us happy. Because if you're a happier human being, you're going to be a freaking happier actor. So it would be, quite eclectic coaching in terms of, it's not just going to be, right, this week we're going to look at how to write to casting directors. Well, you know what? We've looked at that on Acts on This for 200 hours. Go and listen to the podcast on that. This is going to be next level stuff. And this is going to be taught, like I say, by people who teach me. And there'll be stuff on there that I coach that I just don't, I try and put out everything I can into the public domain. There's some things that I'm like, I just can't. It would almost be a little bit irresponsible to throw that out to thousands of people. Whereas if I could coach 50 people on that thing to tell them very specifically how they use it, to get a little bit further in what they want out of life, then that would be, that would be a more suitable environment to do it in. Rich says, I'm interested in the next level idea, Ross. It's amazing. I want to revisit it step by step. Well, Warren, man, you bought Bulletproof Factor. You get lifetime access to Bulletproof Factor. I'm going to launch that course at the end of this year again. The mastermind is going to be something separate to that. But for those who've already done Bulletproof Factor, and if you haven't, go to bulletprooffactor.com to read about it. You'll know the kind of coaching that you'll get in this mastermind group. Rich says Bulletproof is excellent. Thank you, Rich. Let's tell Trump we're anti-Mexican and he'll do it for free. No, I went world-class leaders, Bobby, not just world leaders. All right, Karen. Karen's here. Met Karen at a networking meeting last week. Hope you're well, Karen. Hope all is good. Myra's here as well. So what? Give me some, like, if you're brave. I've got a pen here and a piece of paper. I want to just write down like sticking blocks in people's lives. It doesn't have to relate to the acting industry. This, it will do in some regard. I guarantee it. If you're not happy in yourself, right now for whatever reason, that's going to play into your career. It just does. It doesn't matter whether you're an actor or a baker, it's going to play into your career. There was a study I read about, it was really fascinating, done on CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, and they looked at companies that had gone from being massively profitable to falling, and the CEOs had been the same. The CEO had remained consistent. So he was there when he turned the company around, and he or she was there when the company was on its way down. And they found that companies were screwing themselves over because they were looking, when times were bad, they were looking at the products, they were looking at the marketing, they were looking at like literally everything, their website, their sales funnels, everything bar the humans running the business. And actually, whether you go, well, wait a minute, you know, in 2017, this business was crushing it and we were making 2 billion. Now, in, you know, 2009, well, it's not 2019 yet, is it? 2018, it looks like we're going to be on for a loss. So where's $2 billion gone? And rather than actually going, well, wait a minute, let's have a look at the humans behind this business. They didn't. They looked at all of the mechanics of the business and they couldn't find out what was wrong. And it was when they went, well, let me sit down with the CEO and ask him about his life. What's going on? And they were finding that companies were really suffering when CEOs were going through things like divorces. And they were just, their heads were fucked. They were just like, they were coming to work, but they weren't at work. And it was the human element that was actually bringing the business down because these people weren't performing at their best because they weren't feeling or looking their best. So I think in your acting career, yeah, you know, regardless of what is screwing you up a little bit now, it's going to have a ripple effect and it will end up screwing that up or sabotaging it in a little bit. You know, if you don't go to the gym in the morning and you feel bad and guilty that you didn't go to the gym, maybe you know, let yourself off something else. Maybe you have a chocolate bar or something. You go, oh God, now I feel shit about myself. Now I've lost my motivation. Now I'm not going to send that email to that person. Now I've just wasted these 3 hours feeling guilty about myself, all this sort of stuff. It just affects everything, doesn't it? So what are the areas? Andrew, good evening. What are the areas in your life that you're like, right, I would like to get on top of this year? Maybe you set a New Year's resolution at the start of the year and we're now in July and you're like, you can't even remember when you gave up on it, but you gave up on it. Let's have a look. Warren says, you talked about something before where you put lots of effort in and are highly motivated for spells and then slow down again, up and down. So to a group that all are accountable together would be great. Sometimes I feel that I am running on a treadmill and getting nowhere, so this would help. Yeah, man. And you know what? Seriously, Warren, like everybody feels like that. There are days where, well, there are weeks where I go, holy shit, it's Friday. What the hell just happened? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are an absolute blur. And I've still done loads of stuff, but I too feel like I'm on a treadmill sometimes. And there's something called, in a study on psychology, again, called the gratification treadmill, where ultimately it's kind of like people are constantly looking for that next fix of something. They never feel satisfied because they're never really living in the present. They do something and then they're like, right, on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. And we can end up living in that for years if we're not careful. So sometimes accountability, you know, to actually stop and, you know, go, whoa, you need someone to actually go, wait, right, you're going to spend the next 2 hours like disconnected from all technology and you're going to go out and walk in nature, listen to some music, listen to a podcast, or something. And, you know, we all sometimes just need that to just go, right, I'm out for a little bit. Aunt Wright is in the house. All right, I've not seen Aunt Wright for bloody years. What are you doing, man? I'm not seeing in freaking ages since we were at the gym. No swearing, Aunt. This is a live broadcast. Hope you're well, though, mate. So, yeah, I think sometimes, like, just accountability, Warren, like, in everything is important, man. And that's what you would get from a group like that. Cheryl says, what are you saying, Cheryl, here? I don't have an acting manager or agent, but I've done another interview. What's that, Cheryl? And you're in an online movie called Hello Au Revoir. If you want people to watch it, Cheryl post it in the Facebook group. I'll post a link to it. If there's anything we can support you on, let us know. What's that? Lee says, I know. I've realised that's your thing from watching 39 episodes of Watch Ross. What's my thing, Lee? I'm intrigued. I'm missing. These comments are coming through in a weird order tonight. Apologies if I'm missing stuff because, yeah, they normally appear on top of each other. These are like flying in. I don't know what's happened, but sometimes they just fly in a weird order when it's live, unfortunately. But keep them coming anyway. So maybe. Well, let me write that down. So ultimately, Accountability. I think it's a big one for everybody. It's something that you can never not have. I've had it in my life, taken it away, and then gone, right, I'm not performing as well as I used to. Mark Dharma, for those who know me and done Bulletproof Actor, you'll know Mark, and he introduced me to personal development about 10 years ago. Going to his wedding in LA, got a wedding invitation through here from him the other day. Where am I going? Let me tell you where I'm going. But yeah, he's my accountability buddy. You can always ring Mark. I'm going to the Terrace at the Grand, 4101 Willow Street, Long Beach, California. Sweet. But yeah, he's my accountability buddy. I'm like, sometimes you just need to get on the phone or FaceTime and just be like, mate, right, I feel I'm stuck. I've hit a block. And Mark's very calm. And he's like, right. He knows the answer, but he's very clever in making you think you've come up with the answer. He'll ask you very tactical questions so you actually solve your own problem. He could have solved it like within 10 seconds, probably. But he makes you feel you've done it. I think that's a really good sign of a decent coach. Steve wants to get better body parts. I'm not going to read that out, Steve, but he can do squats to do that. It's his bum, by the way. I will read it out. It's nothing dodgy. Annabelle says, I think it can be so easy to get sidetracked and reactive to clients. Yes. And not keep focused on developing. Advice on focusing on the big picture and staying motivated is always great. Again, it's accountability, isn't it? And focus. Do you know what? So that would be a good one. There's some guys I know, some coaches I know who are all about productivity, and focus is a massive, massive thing. Apologies, I just missed a message on Twitter. Corey, good evening. Could somebody, will you write that again? It was someone who was writing in blue. I missed that though. But yeah, focus is a big one, Annabelle, definitely, in everything. That's what someone said to me this morning. They said someone phoned them and were like, I've lost, this person said to this coach, I've lost my motivation. And he was like, mate, you haven't lost your motivation. All you have done, you have simply lost your focus on, why you're doing this thing. Come back to why you initially started out on this journey, what it is you want. Remind yourself of who you're doing it for. Is it for you? Is it for somebody else? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Find your why again. That's your motivation then. So you can never lose your motivation. You generally just lose your focus on why you started or on what it is you really want. He'd be great to come and do a presentation in that group on focus and productivity. That would be great. Needs to get on top of my fitness, says Alison. Keep putting it on the back burner. Just lost my mum and it made me feel like I'm stuck in a hole. Yeah, man, God, that's hard. It's hard. Remember when I lost my dad, Alison? It's like, it's a really weird time, innit? It was a really weird 6 months for me. It took quite a long time to absorb it, I think. And then you go, and then there just comes a point one day where you're like, right, wait a minute, I've kind of accepted that now. Doesn't mean it's dead easy, and you're like, right, I'm over it. I don't think it's that you get over things like that. You absorb them and learn to carry on. And then you owe it to them, don't you? I always think about that all the time. And when you miss your mum, Alison, look in the mirror, because ultimately you're 50%. It's 50% you. So yeah, that's always nice as well. And yeah, and if you want to, you want to get back on your health and get back in shape, and like feel on it, that's going to affect every part of your life. And you owe it to the people who can't be here, to do that. The people crying out to do that but aren't physically capable. So if you're physically capable, you are obligated. Ultimately, there are 4 pillars I've mentioned in my vlog today on goal setting. If you can set a goal with these 4 pillars, go and watch the vlog. Actually, I won't give them away on here. It'll entice you to watch the vlog. You will win, but one of them is obligation or purpose, where you feel obliged to do it because you feel like accountable to other people. I give an example of when I started running marathons for eye charities, because the eye condition I've got, felt very like my purpose, and I felt very obliged to do it because I could, and there was people with my condition who couldn't. So I was like, right, I'm going to do it. But if that can be like a big part of your why, Alison, about why you want to do it. It's like, right, you know what? Spent this time grieving, got through that mourning process. Now, boom, on behalf of my mum and your dad, or if your dad's around or not, I don't know. Do it for those people who can't. Needs to get back on track. Chasing the horizon is a struggle at the moment. Yeah, chasing the horizon is a phenomenon. where people live between where they are now and where they want to be. So it's like if you look out to a horizon and you walk towards it, when you get there, there's going to be another one in there. And people do this in life. It's like, right, when I have this car, I'll be happy. When I get this job, I'll be happy. When I get this girlfriend or boyfriend, I'll be happy. And then they get that thing and, oh, what? There's another horizon. You can never reach it. So ultimately, what you've got to do is turn around. You end up living in the gap, you see, between where you are and where you want to be. Turn around, look how far you've come. Congratulate yourself, celebrate, your achievements. People don't want to do that these days. Like before they've, had a second to celebrate, they're moving on to the next thing. And just take inspiration from the horizon, Alison. It's like, you know what? My ideal self would have this, 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 and this. So I'm going to take inspiration from that. I'm going to work towards it, but I'm not going to live in the gap. I'm going to make sure that I'm living in the present, because it's literally all we have. 100%. I'm on to episode 22 or 23 on the vlog, says Warren. There's 39 episodes out now, Warren. You got a bit to go, mate. Positivity and Mr. Motivator is your thing. Oh, right, says Lee. I was saying this again. I was saying this to my mum yesterday. I was trying to explain to her. I was saying, I said, honestly, like, positivity and optimism are absolutely everything in life. And people think that they're the added bonuses that you put on at the end. And actually, they should be the foundation you build everything else on. But people look at them as little floaty, airy-fairy things that are like, oh, yeah, oh, well, he or she, this is also positive or something. They're not being realistic. It's like bullshit. Like, there is no place for negativity in terms of practically, not on an airy-fairy, oh, let's all be happy level. Just practically, give me an example. No one in here will ever be able to give me an example of where negativity has helped you in any way. Practically, on a practical level, from getting out of the bed in the morning, from getting on with your day and going to bed at night. Negativity on a practical level is for fucking losers, right? Don't look at positivity and optimism as something that are bonuses and that are things you add on at the end. If you start with those things, your life will change massively, like straight away. But yeah, it is a huge, like, honestly, and I know positivity gets a bad name for itself in a way because people do think that it's all, oh yeah, you just go and be positive. Negativity is incredibly loud in the world. Like, just look down. I won't do it, but look down your news feed. On Sky News or something like that. You'll see negativity everywhere. We don't need any help making that any louder, but people need help making positivity louder. It genuinely is. Like, honestly, and it's not a bullshit thing where it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't really count, or it's not real, or it's not going to help you earn money, or it's not going to help you be more successful. It's fucking everything. It will help you, like, win in life, full stop, when you can be positive and optimistic on a daily basis, even when times are bad. It doesn't mean you've got to, not deny stuff, because that's harmful. But it's like, framing situations in your life as optimistic as opposed to pessimistic. If you've got a cold right now, it's summer, so you probably haven't. But if you've got a cold, people say, "How are you?" "Oh, I feel absolutely dreadful. Oh God, I've got this awful cold." Oh, negative. It's going to compound the issue, make you feel even shitter. Whereas if you frame your language in your situation as, "Oh, I'm beating a cold right now. I'm not going to let it stop me." Your language is positive. You're going to feel in a more positive state, and you probably, and I don't know whether science agrees with this or not, but I would suggest you probably get over that illness a bit quicker if you're not wallowing in shit because of it. So yeah, it is a big thing of mine, Lee. I went off on one there, but positivity and optimism, man, help me make it louder. All right, Joe, how you doing? Says back doing a full-time job, so acting is on the back burner, but I'm still doing little bits, and of course still supporting acts on this. Well, thank you, Joe. Massively appreciate that. Let us know how we can support you as well. And maybe you want to become part of this mastermind group that I was talking about before. David says, I just go through periods of doubt in my own ability. So again, that's kind of confidence and doubt. I'll write that down. That's utterly natural. I must experience that a couple of times a week, David. But it depends at what point you're experiencing that. If you're thinking of doing something new and you feel that, do it, because it's at that point where you're growing, because you're like, if you come up with a new idea to do something and you feel completely comfortable, you're like, oh yeah, that'll be fine, yeah, it's dead easy, I suggest you're not pushing yourself far enough. If every time you come up with a new idea to do something in or out of your acting career and you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, that slightly anxious, holy shit, can I do this? You know, maybe you get a bit excited about it as well, because it's like, wow, okay, that's what I've got to do, but can I do this? That's a really good sign, man, because that's like, right, I'm actually about to do something new, even if I'm confused. Remember, those who do Bulletproof Actor, I say all the time, confusion is a very positive emotion. If you are confused, you are about to learn something. Embrace confusion, right? If you're not confused on at least once a day, you're not learning really anything new. So keep pushing for that. But yeah, again, a self-belief and confidence, David, that's something we can massively cover, both on actsonthis.tv and in this group that I want to create. I want to sign up for the monologue slam, says Lee, as I met Vicky last year, but learning monologues holds me back as I feel I struggle to learn big chunks of dialogue. I much prefer duologues, but I want to face my fears and apply for October. Well, Lee, so if you watch my vlog today, guys, youtube.com/watchross, you will see Vicky Connett, who's the producer of the Manchester Monologue Slam. It's a free event to showcase actors. It's got an incredible reputation in the industry. Lots of people have been discovered there. I've got agents there. I've gone on to work on TV from that. Great thing is, Lee, man, nothing to be afraid of, dude. I mean, yes, be afraid because it's a new... I'm sorry, I've got something in my teeth here. There you go, it's getting that out. Those are the audio experience. You won't see me looking very uncouth. But yeah, you're gonna feel fear because you're gonna be performing in front of a live audience and a panel of industry experts. However, it's a 1 minute or a 3 minute monologue, dude. If you don't want to do the 3 minute one, do the 1 minute round. That's not that intimidating. I think it's a lovely little step in, get your feet wet, go back for the 3 minute one next time or whatever. But do it, dude. Honestly, do it. We'll come and watch 100%. Tony Rossi from Chicago. All right, mate. Hope you're well. Always brightens up the broadcast. Alison says, brilliant, really helpful. No problem, Alison. Anais here. Greetings all. Ross, Bulletproof gave me fantastic practical tools to use every day of my life. Going further with that approach would be really great. It's what I want to do, Anais. Honestly, and I'm so happy you said that. I put everything in a Bulletproof Actor. I really mean that. Like, one of my things for Bulletproof Actor, I have these 10 commandments on the back here. And one of them that I always go on about to everybody, and I think changes your life, is I will give more of myself to others than anyone expects. And I try and do that. Well, I try and do that in every area of my life. But Bulletproof Actor, for those 5 weeks I'm coaching maybe the 60, 70, 80 actors who enroll on that course, it's phenomenal. It's 5 of the best weeks of my life, and so and the emails I get afterwards are like insane. Like, they're so good. Like, when you hear somebody go, wow, you know what, 5 weeks ago I was broken, and like, I've had really, really dark thoughts this year, and now it is those practical tools. And it's not, I'm not teaching stuff that is like, again, airy fairy nonsense. This is really practical. I'm super practical. I'm just a northern bloke, very normal. So it's got to be practical. But it absolutely changed people's lives. It's just operating from a different place. It's always starting with positivity, even when at the darkest of times, because you just find what you look for. And if you look for light, even when it's pitch black, you will find a little chink somewhere. And that's just where you've got to start from. So yeah, the mastermind group in A would be Bulletproof Actor on steroids, basically. Once a month, one of those coaching calls where we go super deep on an area of life or the industry. Bobby says, I forgot to say I applied for Spotlight today. Good man. Excellent. You've got to get on Spotlight, Bobby. Pretty integral. Great words, Ross. Positivity all the way, says Andrew. Carol says, I never trust my own instincts with my choices, acting or everyday life. Then I realised that they were right all along. Honestly, Karen, right, there's something very special about your intuition. I think of it like this, right? And you might think I'm absolutely mental. I've tried to explain to people before, and I've had some funny looks. But how I feel about intuition, right, is really interesting. My phone right now is not connected. Well, I say it's not connected. It's got a bloody wire in it, hasn't it? But if I unplug the charger, right now, those watching live or on the video replay, those on the audio replay, I'm holding my phone up, and it's connected to nothing. And you can see me on it right now because I'm watching this broadcast, not because I'm egotistical, just because I want to see the comments that are coming up on Twitter. And you can't see, there's data being transferred to and from this device simultaneously, and you can't see it. You know, what is this Wi-Fi we all talk about and have to have everywhere we go? The first thing you do in a cafe is, what's the Wi-Fi code? What's the Wi-Fi password, etc.? And people have no problem whatsoever believing in this thing we've been told that's called Wi-Fi. No one's got any problem in believing in that. This mystical, invisible force that makes pictures and music appear on a piece of glass in our hands. It's incredible, isn't it, right? However, I think intuition works in the exact same way, but I think it works from us. I truly believe we do emit and receive frequencies and signals very much in the way that we do with Wi-Fi. And we do that between us as human beings, because like I meet people, and you must have felt it, where you meet someone and instantly you're like, there's something I don't like about them, and I've not even said hello. Or someone walks in the room and you go, I have to go and talk to that person. There's an incredible attraction there. There's something about that person. And it's almost like intuition is some sort of kind of like light or something that we emit from ourselves and other people pick it up. And it's generally freaking right. There's been very few occasions where I've got it seriously wrong with someone, or something. If I've got a bad feeling about a situation, generally it's not been good, or it's not ended up that well. If I've got a great feeling about something, it's probably been great. And I think intuition, is that. So when you're saying you don't trust your own instincts, I think it's your intuition you're not trusting. You should absolutely go with it. When people say trust your gut, go with your gut. Andy Pryor, the Doctor Who casting director, said to me in an Act on This interview, go and listen to it on actonthis.tv. You'll see it in the podcast section. He said, listen, actors need to trust their gut more, because it's generally, in 99% of circumstances, it's bang on. It's dead right. But you will question yourself, and then what you do when you question yourself is you then question the questions, and then you question the questions, and then before you know it, you're completely screwed. And you have no idea what you're doing. Words don't even make any sense anymore. So when you're saying you don't trust your choices in acting or in everyday life, and then you realise that they were right all along, just trust yourself a little bit more. And you can go into any situation. The great book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Susan Jeffers, she says, listen, all you have to do, Karen. She didn't say Karen, but let's pretend she did. All you've got to do, Karen, is trust yourself when you go into any situation that you will be able to handle the outcome no matter what it is. Thus, you don't need to control the situation anymore, because you just know, you know what? Whatever happens, I'm going to deal with it. I am going to handle this, she says in the book. And that's what you should do in all situations in your life, particularly auditions and just anything that's high pressure, because no one's ever died of an audition, I don't think. No one's ever really died of a high pressure situation or a job interview or a date or anything like that, generally speaking, let's be honest. Trust yourself more, 100%. But again, something we could definitely look at. So many coaches I know that specialise in this sort of stuff, who coach me, that I would love to introduce people to on these calls. All right, Gary Thomas is in the house. Lee Fletcher says he's going to do it. He's going to do Monologue Slam. I want to see, Lee, when you've signed up, I want to see you take a screenshot and post it in the Acts on This Facebook group to prove to us you've done it. And we'll all come and watch, mate. Seriously, we really will. It's all about supporting. Love seeing how many people came out to watch Petchy's play. Bobby came over from Ireland to watch. He spent £200 coming over to watch Petchy's play. Petchy is an actor, but he's the cameraman who films my vlog. He did a play called How to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse at the Manchester Fringe this weekend just gone. It was an awesome play as well, really, really great. I was well impressed by it. I was well happy with how many people turned up for him. He was over the moon. Rewrite your life story in Bulletproof Actor, says Gary. 100%, man. That's exactly what we teach people to do. And we're looking at Shadow Self in a personal development workshop in a few weeks' time, says John. So my thing is vulnerability and opening up to what I really feel about life. And goes into when I do things as an actor. Vulnerability, it's said all the time, something I learned a few years ago about how powerful it was. When I never used to talk about my vulnerabilities. I went through university, I went through drama school, not telling anybody I had an eye condition that effectively at the time, so I have no peripheral vision. So if I do this, again, sorry, audio experienced people, but I'm putting my hands up by the side of my head. If I do this and this, it doesn't really make any difference to what I see. It's like looking through a letterbox. It's a genetic condition called retinitis pigmentosa, and I went through university, through drama school. I didn't want to tell anyone about it. I felt like stupid. I felt embarrassed by it, entirely. I was like, I don't want to be labelled as having a disability. That's not me. I'm like this 21-year-old guy. I can't have a label like that. I didn't tell anyone about it. And I kept getting comments from tutors going, your spatial awareness is terrible. Your acting is great, but your spatial awareness is rubbish. And I just took it, just took the flak, went, yeah, no, it's rubbish in it, really sorry. I was getting marked down in everything for that. And all I needed to do was turn around and go, I'm visually impaired. And they'd, you know what they're like, they'd have gone, shit, right, okay, can't penalise him for that then. I didn't. I just took a hit on my degree because I didn't want to be vulnerable. And then I learned a few years ago talking about this, just made people so interested in me and like intrigued by it. No one judged me for it. You know, I mean, I haven't earned it. Didn't ask for it. And it helped other people open up. So I would find people who I thought there was nothing wrong with them at all would say, oh my God, you know what? Well, I have this. And I go, oh my God, I didn't know about that. It's like another invisible disability we didn't know about. And they go, oh yeah, no, and I suffer with this and that. And it just made everyone go, oh, you know what? We're all a little bit screwed up in a way. You know, it's very normal. Whereas when we deny it, John, and we're not vulnerable about anything, one, you know, doesn't really kind of like, it makes you less interesting, I think, in a way. You have less to say, less to talk about, less emotional availability around things if you just clam up and you don't want to, you know, explain anything or tell people about your experiences and stuff. You can't teach people if you're not sharing, you know, challenges that you're facing. I think it's powerful, man, to like just share vulnerability all the time. So I'm going to write that down as well, something for us to explore. Thomas says, we all have our own energy levels, says Gary. Yes, we do. People are either... you say about the energy that we emit. Yeah, well, I think people are either, like I say in Bulletproof, like battery chargers or battery drainers. And I think your intuition picks up on that when someone walks into the room, and that's, you know, it's not being judgmental, it's just picking up on the vibes, isn't it? We definitely 100% emit frequencies. We just do, and we can pick them up subconsciously. I don't know the science behind it, I just feel that's right. Bobby says, I once willingly failed a college assignment because it involved speaking in front of a class. Irony, I know. No way, Bobby. Lee says, completely random question. I have my teenage twins with me here this week, and one of them is asking me to ask you what software you use to edit your footage for your vlogs. I've had them watching your vlog. Amazing. Well, I appreciate you watching. Do subscribe. I need to get the subscribers up. I use Final Cut 10 on Mac. It's not the only decent piece of editing software out there. Premiere Pro is very, very good as well. I like Final Cut because I started off years ago using iMovie, which is a dumbed down version of Final Cut. But Final Cut is absolutely fantastic. Honestly, it's just very intuitive. It's very fast to edit on as well. And if you get one of the latest Macs as well, they do these super ridiculously powerful iMac Pros now, they're called. They're $5,000 though, Lee. It's a lot of money. I might invest in one for the business when I move into my new apartment. But I won't be buying much else. I'll be living on beans. But yeah, Final Cut's excellent. Final Cut's really, really good. Check it out. Definitely. I think you can get a trial, or you can get it. You know, if you're a student, you say how old are they, Lee? Teenage twins. So they're going to be students. You can get a student deal with Apple, where I think you can get the whole pro kind of pack for like £200 of not just the editing software for video, but for audio as well and some other stuff. So explore that, man. But yeah, Final Cut's great. Karen says, I still struggle with my disability, but it's getting easier slowly. So yes, vulnerability is a massive one for many of us. Well, I know you are in a chair, Karen. What is your disability? What is that? And is that something you've lived with all your life, or is that something that happened at some point? Let us know a little bit more about that. Be interested to know. Because yes, you know, that's going to be a thing. Let's not avoid it and be all awkward about it. That's going to be a freaking, you know, a big insecurity, innit? My thing is with my eyes are bad in the dark. So when I went into that networking meeting and it wasn't lit too well at the Comedy Store, I get like, you know, that's a vulnerability for me. Sometimes I'm like, oh God, like maybe I have to go and do a recce before I go, or I'll go in the day so I know where the toilets are. So when I go there at night and it's darker, I don't need to ask somebody to, you know, guide me to the toilets. I just feel like a dick. So it is, you know, I get it. I completely get it. It's like, but it's about owning it and going, actually, I'm not going to apologize for this. That's what I'm like over the last couple of years I've been really good at. And just, you know, ultimately realizing, you know what? In so many other ways, I'm an awesome person. Just because my eyes don't work that well. And they do, I mean, I'm still incredibly grateful for them. They do work beautifully for what I need them to work for. But in some situations, they could be better. I'm certainly not ungrateful. I'm so ridiculously grateful for my eyes. Yeah, it's about owning it and going, yeah, you know what? this might be a little flaw that I have, but you know what? This is like, I'm owning this shit. And I'm so great in so many other ways that is cool. It's all right, but I get it definitely. But I'd love to know if you're willing to share a little bit more about your situation. Gary Thomas has student discounts on Mac equipment as well, 100%. And if you remember Spotlight as well, log into spotlight.com, go into the discount section, and they do up to 12.5% off some Macs as well, if you remember Spotlight, which is cool. So Karen says, I had an accident almost 7 years ago. Wow. Took my femur out, smashing it quite literally. I have some mobility but can't walk far at all. Wow, okay. So that's different, isn't it? So that's, well, with my eyes, it's a little bit like that, because, you know, you're born with your retina's fine in my condition, and it's just over time cells in your retina degrade. So yeah, so it's kind of, you know, so your eyes get you know, worse over time. So it's weird when you've had it, innit? You know, when you've had it and then you had it taken away, you kind of know what you're missing. It's a little bit worse probably than not having it at all. That's why I never bothered to drive. I was like, you know what, there's probably going to come a day where I can't drive legally anyway. So I won't even try, because then I won't rely on it. I won't get used to it. Thus, I just don't miss what I haven't had. So that's really interesting, and the whole mindset around that is fascinating. But you should share that, Karen. Like, inspire people with that story. Get out, do shit. Make your own stuff, put stuff on, go out there, don't apologize, ask life for what you want and what you deserve, and inspire people, you know, who are more, you know, in a more fortunate situation, to actually look at their life and go, you know what, wow, what am I complaining about? Because I guarantee you there's millions of able-bodied 20/20 vision, perfect hearing, perfect heart, lungs, brain, everything, people out there today, right now, complaining about dumb shit, telling their partner they're unhappy, life is shit, they don't win anything, they're not good enough, they're not this enough, that enough. And sometimes it just takes someone who's, you know, in a more challenging situation to go, oi, dickhead, you need to be a little bit more grateful about what you've got right now. You need to start doing some shit, because you're just throwing your life away. I've had a few conversations with people like that myself, in more polite terms. But yeah, use it for good, Karen, definitely. 100%. Warren says, yes, that interview with Ruth was pretty inspirational. What was that? Which one was that? Was it on actonthis.tv, Warren? With Ruth Madeley, or on the vlog with Ruth? Because I've done two. Did a great interview with Ruth Madeley. So Ruth Madeley's got something called scoliosis and spina bifida. Spends a lot of time in a wheelchair. We did a drama together called Don't Take My Baby a few years ago. She got nominated for a BAFTA for it. She's just working on a brand new drama called The Rook. I just literally got a text from her 10 minutes before we came on to try and going to get her on the vlog tomorrow, because a documentary she's doing on spina bifida, and her story comes out this Thursday on BBC. Oh, I think it could be 2. It's Horizon. I think it's BBC 2. So do check out that if you're watching, and then send Ruth at Ruth Madeley, send her a little tweet, say, yeah, Ross told me to watch, and it was great. Support Ruth. She's a great girl. Sony Vegas is the Windows equivalent, Bobby says, for Windows. Yeah, you can get Premiere Pro for Windows as well, Bobby. It's really good editing software as well, which is cool. All right, Lee Petcher. We're talking about you, Lee Petcher, before. You, not to get confused with Lee Fletcher, but Lee Petcher, the guy who was in the play, is on the broadcast right now. So yeah, hope you're good, Lee. We'll be out vlogging again tomorrow. Don't know exactly what we're going to do. We've got Steve Idwaney on tomorrow, and Andy Connor, who have created a web series called Rebound that I've seen the evolution of. It started off pretty ropey on a mobile phone. They won't mind me saying that. The content was great. Production value was not great. Now they've moved it up a level. And now it's not only funny, it like looks and sounds really good as well. Episode 3, I think, is out later this week for those guys, or next week. But we're going to have those on the vlog tomorrow, talking about, again, just creating your own stuff. I just don't think there's any excuse not to be doing it now. And it's a fantastic way to get attention, get noticed, you know, get attention from casting directors, writers, directors, etc. And just work more, feel more fulfilled as well, because you're actually taking your career into your own hands. Definitely. Are you doing your Horizon documentary, Ross? Says Gary. I freaking hope so, Gary. They're editing the taster footage that I've already shot for them, like, now, this week, I think. And then what we've got to do is we've then got to pitch that taster footage to the BBC themselves. It's BBC. Ironically, it's BBC Studios, are an in-house production company at the BBC, but they're independent. ITV have ITV Studios. in ITV, but it's an independent production company. So ITV and BBC Studios can make programs for other channels. So even if BBC Studios go, right, we're going to get an idea together we really like, they've still got to pitch it to themselves. Well, pitch it to the BBC. But it does mean if the BBC don't want it, they can then go, right, we're going to take it to Channel 4, or we're going to take it to ITV, etc. So you'll see Age Before Beauty, the new drama that starts on Tuesday, the 31st of July. I play a guy called Mitchell in it. And that's made by ITV Studios for BBC One. So it's quite interesting, isn't it? If you're a geek like me. But yeah, so the footage has been edited, Gary, and I freaking hope we can do a good job of the pitch and they go, right, I would like to make this. I would love to do it. Oh, God. And that's telling the story about this eye condition. That would be hopefully getting Steve Wynn, one of the richest men in the world who has this eye condition. He's a billionaire who owns half of Las Vegas. I'd be getting him on the documentary. We'd obviously become best mates. I'd probably end up becoming multi-millionaire out of pity. I'd be like, Steve, come on, mate. Lend us 10 mil. Got live broadcasts to do here. So yeah, I hope so, Gary. I'm keeping everything crossed. Please keep fingers crossed for me. Put some prayers out there, guys. But I would love to do that. I'm going to do it. Ultimately, whether this is the BBC who make it with me or not, I'm going to make it, mate. I promise you that. So it will be out at some point. Definitely. So 2 more minutes, guys. So anything that you would want to see on Acts on This, you're like, right, I'm crying out for this casting director who I think I've had nearly everybody on now. Bar Nina Gold and Robert Stern. They're the 2 I'm working at because they're freaking massive. Every other massive casting director in the country I think I've had on Acts on This.tv for an interview of some kind or a live Q&A or something. Anybody who you're like, I would love you to get that person on, let me know now or forever hold your peace. Or don't forever hold it, just tweet me later on. But do let me know if it's an actor in particular, like they really inspire me. I would love to get those on. There isn't Will Smith and The Rock because they're the 2 that I would love to get on as well. Let me know, and I will try and make that happen for you. And if you want to be part of this mastermind group or you want to apply for it, like I said, there's only going to be 50 places. There's already about 100, and in fact, let me see how many people said they would want to join. I'll just have a look at my email list now. Because it is going to be oversubscribed, but I don't want to make it like I don't want to just go right. It's unlimited. We'll just get 300 people on it. It's just not. It's not quality, is it? It just becomes a bit diluted. That I just want 50 really dedicated people in that group who I will work with personally monthly. So right now, as it stands, 177. People have said, yeah, they'd be up for it, but they've not applied. That's just initial interest, so it doesn't mean that they'll all actually go through and go, yeah, I want in. But if you do want in, then let me know. Drop me an email, ross@actonthis.tv. Just write in this subject, mastermind group, and then just write a little note going, let me know when applications open, and I'll make sure you know. So Stevie Wenny would like Jack P. Shepherd on the vlog. I met Jack very recently in Media City. He agreed to be on Acts on This, Steve. Just got to email a contact at Corrie to sort that out. So that's happening. Chris Lunt, Gary, is on soon, mate. I'm going to drop him. I just thought about that this morning, actually. I'm going to drop him a line this week. I'm going to publish a blog post on... So Chris Lunt is a writer, an awesome writer, TV writer. He wrote Prey, that's where I met him, ITV's Prey with John Sim. He wrote Prey 1 and Prey 2. And I went to the read-through for that. Great guy, super humble, lovely guy. Working on some great projects at the moment. I want him to come on and just talk about the writing process. And there'll be actors on here now, and Gary's a writer, but there'll be actors who want to write, and they're like, you know what, again, I feel like I'm an imposter. I can't write, what? Well, Rachel Shenton thought that, wrote The Silent Child, won an Oscar for it. I'm taking at least 15% credit for that. And yeah, everyone's got a story in them, but people will hold that back and take it to the grave with them because they don't feel qualified. Don't worry about being qualified. Chris is going to talk us through that. Ros Hubbard says, Bobby, that's something I could look at. I've had Dan Hubbard on. Could definitely have a look at the Hubbards. Yeah, I try to think who's doing what at the moment, because Amy is... I don't know about Ros and John, whether they're casting or if they still do a lot, or it's all Amy and Dan now. I can look at that. Shaheen Baker, Richard, I've already I've tweeted and emailed Shaheen. She seemed keen. Fingers crossed on that one. David Tennant says, Steered, love that. I think that's probably... Don't know if that's possible right now. Maybe at some point. Ricky Gervais. Myra, I have tried Ricky. I got Warwick Davis on the site, and then Warwick gave me Ricky's PA's, like his assistant's email. And I emailed Ricky and was like, Ricky, man, come on, please do this. I'll donate whatever you want to an animal charity. This was a while ago, actually. I've not asked him recently at all. I need to get back in touch. But his excuse for not doing acts on this broadcast was that, he was presenting the Golden Globes. So you know what? Fair play. To be honest with you, I'll let you have that. You know, I think you've made the wrong decision, Ricky. I think you should have acted on this broadcast instead. But I'll let you go and do the Golden Globes. See how that works out for you. Cheers, mate. But yeah, I could definitely... You know what? I'd love it. I don't know if I'd get anything done on that broadcast, though, because I'd be fanboying it up. I'd just be like, oh, Ricky, you're so great. Tell us a joke. He's brilliant, though. Very, very big fan of Ricky Gervais. Mark Davis Markham, says David. Who's that, David? I don't know who that is. I have to Google a couple of these names. But I'll go back over these in the when I've ended the broadcast, guys. I'll write all these down. And Danny Dyer says, yeah, Danny Dyer would be an interesting one. And I'll try and sort that out for you. So appreciate that. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to I've got my list here of things for the masterclass, but for the mastermind, I'm going to play you 60 seconds of my vlog. If you haven't seen it today, it's an awesome vlog. This one, it's all about getting shit done, getting up off your backside. Stop waiting for the phone to ring and doing stuff yourself. Here's 60 seconds of it.
I moved to Manchester 3 years ago. I went to auditions, went to networking events, trying everything I can to be seen by the people of Manchester in the theatre fringe. The theatre scene completely ignored. Didn't get anything, and I was like, do you know what? If I want something to happen, I'm going to make it happen.
Welcome everybody to episode 39 of Watch Ross, the one where we learn to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Why do we have to get something drastic happen to us to start doing the things that we want to do, that we're enjoying?
You can come and perform something for 1 minute or 3 minutes, and it's called Monologue Slam. And that's what I see so many people doing. They leave drama school and they'll say things like, you know, oh, hi, my name's Dave, I'm trying to be an actor. What?
Every apocalypse or every hardship that we face is part of that journey. And it's not about end gaining, looking to the end all the time. It's about appreciating where you are and experiencing that journey.
Boom. There you go. Just 60 seconds of it. It's a 27-minute episode. You want to go and watch the whole thing, get over to youtube.com/Watch Ross. If you subscribe, I'm going to pick a random subscriber out in about 8 days' time. And I'm going to give you £150 cash, no strings attached, literally no con there. £150. I'm going to pay for your Spotlight subscription, basically, or give you the cash. Well, I'm just going to give you the cash, and you pay for your Spotlight subscription if you want. If you want to go and spend it on hot dogs, it's fine, not a problem. Whatever floats your boat. Go and spend it on whatever you like. But yeah, £150 cash. Go to youtube.com/Watch Ross. Subscribe. Every comment you leave on an episode, one per episode. You don't need to put 10 on an episode. That's cheating. 1 comment per episode. I'm going to choose a comment at random on one of this season's episodes, basically, and I'm going to give you £150 in cash. So get yourself over youtube.com/Watch Ross. And that's about it for this week. I want to say a massive shout out to everyone who's been watching live, and particularly those who haven't been on here before. If you've enjoyed this and you're new to it, come back every Monday night, 9 p.m. UK time. We do this. I'm going to be back for a book club next week. We're looking at an awesome book. Shall we look at this book again? Technically, we've done 2 weeks on it, so I don't know if we should. Where is it? Whether we look at it again, but I love it. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. It's how to have more acting career success by just giving less of a fuck about everything in your life in a good way. There's so many things you're caring about right now that's putting you off doing stuff that are holding you back. Let me know if give me some comments now. Actually, shall we look at it again? We've looked at 2 chapters, but it's bloody good, isn't it? Maybe just look at it for one last time. Let me know what you'd want. Sophie, I've not seen Sophie here before or for a while. I've seen you. I kind of recognise your face there, Sophie, on that picture on Facebook. But thanks for being here. Definitely not seeing you here regularly, so appreciate you watching. Rich says excellent. If Shaheen can't do it, her assistant Aisha might be an idea. Yeah, definitely, Rich. I'm sure I'll get Shaheen on. She asked me on Twitter to email. She actually reached out and said, "Yeah, drop me an email." So I think that's a good sign. And Gary says, "Yeah, please, one more week on the same book." Right, we'll do one more week on that. It is good. I would recommend everybody buys that book, though. I've heard so much about it over the last couple of years, and I haven't read it until very recently. It's just a total no. It's my kind of book, innit? It's proper no nonsense, no bullshit, cut through the crap, personal development book, telling it exactly how it is. So we'll do that next Monday night, 9 p.m. Would be great to see you here for that. So I'm going to sort out. I'm going to just have to close this. Unfortunately, I can't see your comments now. I've left the Facebook page just so I can end this broadcast kind of elegantly, but it means you've still got me for another 2 minutes. If you want to ask anything, write it now, and I can still look at it once the broadcast is finished. I'll go back through the comments if I've missed anything. Because, yeah, apologies if I have missed any comments, because it hasn't shown them all in the right order tonight. Facebook's just weird like that sometimes on live. Not everything comes through at the same order as you guys see it for me when you're the host. But I hope that's good. Thanks so much for watching. Go watch the vlog, youtube.com/watch Ross. Do subscribe. Going to be shooting a brand new episode tomorrow. Ross@actonthis.tv. Reach out with an email if you want to be part of this mastermind group. I don't know exactly when it's going to launch. I would like to launch it, probably like the end of next month. It's going to be done properly, guys, basically. I'm not rushing it. I'm going to get 12 incredible world-class speakers together to do a year's worth of coaching. So you see exactly what you're going to be coached on before you sign up. It's got to be right for you, because I really will be demanding like absolute commitment. If you're in on this, you've got to be freaking in on it. Don't do it by halves and go, I'll see what it's like. I need people to commit to it, because you're going to be buddied up with someone else as well for accountability. So you don't want to be letting those down. But it's going to be amazing. Honestly, I'm going to be very excited to get off the ground. So I'll keep you posted on that. And if I can do anything for you in the meantime, at Act on This TV or at Ross A. Grant on Twitter or Instagram as well. Do check me out on Instagram, actually. Doing a lot more on Instagram, at Ross A. Grant on Instagram as well. And I'll see you next week. If I can do anything for you in the meantime, post in the Facebook group. Until then, bye for now.